Hi, today's topic is Introduction to DDMS and its features, presented by Karthika Ragupati. The agenda is we'll be discussing about what is DDMS, how does it work, how does DDMS interact with the debugger, and the features of DDMS. What is DDMS? DDMS is a Dalvik Debug Monitor Server. The Dalvik Debug Monitor Server is a debugging utility that is integrated into Eclipse through the DDMS perspective. This DDMS perspective provides a number of useful features for interacting with emulators and handsets. How does it work? DDMS is integrated into Eclipse and it is also shipped into the tools directory of SDK. DDMS works with both the emulator and also the connected device. If both the emulator and connected device are connected and running simultaneously, DDMS defaults to the emulator. How do we run it? We could run this DDMS through two ways. One is through the Eclipse and another one is through the command prompt. Now I'll show you how do we run it through the Eclipse and through the command prompt. So I'll open my Eclipse. This will take some few minutes to launch. Okay. So in the Eclipse you find the tab Windows. In the Windows you find Open Perspective. In Open Perspective you can see a feature DDMS. Click on that. Okay. So this is a screen of the DDMS through the Eclipse. So if you have an option even here in the home screen. If you even click on this, you can see the DDMS screen. So now I want to open this through the command prompt. I'll close this. Okay. Now let me open my command prompt. I need to give the SDK path here. So SDK tools path. Here is where, why do we give this path? Here is where you see the DDMS bat file. So that is the reason why you give this SDK tools path. CD space. I paste the path. Now I give DDMS. Okay, so this is the screen of DDMS through the command prompt. If you are starting this 3DMS from the command prompt or through the Eclipse, the screen is slightly different, but most of the functionalities are same. Okay, now let's discuss how DDMS interact with the debugger. So when the DDMS starts, it connects to the ADB. When the device is connected, a VM monitoring service is created between the ADB and DDMS, which notifies DDMS when a VM on the device is started or terminated. Once a VM is running, DDMS retrieves the VM process ID through ADB and opens a connection to the VM's debugger through the ADB. DDMS typically assigns a debugging port to each VM on the device. Typically, DDMS assigns a port 8600. So, you could see if I launch my emulator, So in the DDMS, you could see the emulated 5554 is running. We wait for a few minutes. It will start launching all the applications of the emulator. Okay, now in the DDMS, you could see all the applications are launching. Phone, settings, process, launcher, your desk clock, settings, calendar. Exchange, media, email, etc. So, as I told, typically a DDMS assigns a port 8600 for the first debuggable VM. So, if you see the system process here, it had 8600 and so on. It continues. When the debugger connects to one of these ports, all the traffic is forwarded to the debugger from the associated VM. So as I told you, if you are starting this DDMS from command line or through the Eclipse, the screen is slightly different, but most of the functionality is same. So if you see, you can notice for the when compared to all the for Android.email, you can see the highest debugging port number, that is 8617. And coming to the features, these are the features of DDMS, that is viewing heap usage for the process, tracking memory allocation of objects, working with emulator or device file system, examining threads information, screenshots, method profiling, logcat and custom filters. So if you see this DDMS screen, so you could see the updating heaps here. So this feature allows us to view how much heap memory a process is using. This information is useful to track the heap usage at a certain point during the execution of our application. And memory allocation tracker. So this feature provides a feature to track objects that are being allocated to memory and to see which classes and threads are allocating the objects. And coming to the file system, in the device you have an option, Files Explorer. So this will allow us to see, we can copy, paste, delete files on the device. This feature is useful in examining files that are created by our application, or if you want to transfer any files to the device or from the device and check the files. And next one is the threads information. So this will show how much threads currently running for the selected process. These are the processors. And if you here you could see there will be, if you select any process, you could see the different states for each process. Suppose I select, I could see the different states for each process here: native, VM, runnable, wait, and all. And coming to the system info, so here you could see how much it is used per each. Coming to the CPU load or memory usage, you could see here. And the next one is the method profiling. This will track certain metrics about the method, such as the number of calls, execution time, and time spent to execute the method and all. Coming to the screenshot, you have an option in the device screenshot. Here is where you could take the screenshot of your emulator and you can save, rotate, or however you want. See, here you could see the screenshot. And the next one is the logcat. This is where you could see, this is the logcat. This is where you could see the output of the messages that are printing using the logcat. You have different messages here. Verbose, debug, info. You can see the warning messages, error messages, debugging messages, information messages and all. And you have another option. Before that, here the log message and the event log is same. If you see here, you can save. If you click on here, you can save or clear or load an event logs and all. Here also it's the same. You can save the text file and you can clear your log. You can scroll. There is a scroll log. You can scroll down and all. And save filters. Here, these are the custom filters. You can set up some custom filters here. You can give some process ID, some log tag message. This is the PID and this is the TID. If you give this, if I select that, I could see only the messages for which we have we have created a filter. Suppose I create 782. Suppose I see all messages here. Okay. Suppose I create some test 1. The PID number is 7779. Suppose. Okay. If I go here, I could see only the log messages of 7779. This is where you could create the filters and you could see you can add different filters and you can edit the filters and you can delete the filters and all. With this DDMS is used to track the many features such as checking how much memory is used, seeing how much thread information and how much heap usage for the selected process. We can see the warning messages, create the custom filters and all in this DDMS. In the next session, we'll be discussing more briefly about the features of DDMS. Thank you.